So welcome to the fall residential for Saybrook University and our meditation circle tonight. I'm Luann Fortune with the Department of Mind-Body Medicine, and I'm joined by my colleagues and our co-leaders for the evening, Cliff Smyth, Jenny DeDecker, and Dr. Moss has been detained elsewhere, so I will be doing the closing tonight. He sends his fond best regards. So before we get started with our formal segments, for those of you who are new to this, we generally rotate through leading this, and there will be a place in toward the end of our third segment where we will hit the pause button on the recording and invite anyone who would care to put intentions into the circle. Please know that your lovely faces are not being recorded for this portion. And for the parts where you would be speaking, we will pause the recording. So we're recording it for others to listen into. So before we get started with the opening segment, I'd like to sort of set the stage, because setting up the space is a big part of occupying the space. And I'd invite you, first of all, to look around you. Look around the room that you're occupying right now. And in a little tool that I borrowed from Rossman Mennekin, you might look behind you and notice who or what is behind you. And you might do that to the other side as well. And Mennekin, who's the author of My Grandmother's Hands, who's done a lot of work with mindfulness and trauma, especially around racial equity, reminds us that the body knows if it is safe. So first of all, I invite you to find a safe place for your body. I also want to acknowledge the paradox of being so intimate in community at a time when we are spatially removed from each other, that we're all in our own three-dimensional space, as you can see if you look around. And if you look down, you'll see that you occupy your own third-dimensional body. Yet we are all connected by this two-dimensional flat screen, which makes it nonetheless very powerful. So if any time during the session tonight you need to remove yourself, I give you the tool of pushing back, hands pushing away from the screen if you need to, hugging yourself in your own space, and rejoining us when you're ready. And right now, I will think that everyone who is still with us is ready. And I invite you to take a breath in, breathing into the space inside of you, breathing out to the space outside of you. And if you're comfortable, let your eyes go closed. And I'm going to start the first segment about beginnings. A few quotes. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. All the while breathing in and breathing out. And if you take a few generous breaths or whatever you feel comfortable breathing, I invite you to think about how today is one step. The first, or perhaps the third day, stepping into this new space, fall 2021 semester. Breathing in and breathing out. And I invite you to sink deeper into a state of stillness, a contemplative posture. And I offer the words of Martin Luther King Jr. Take the first step in faith. You don't have to see the whole staircase. Just take the first step. Breathing in and breathing out. And as you continue to breathe at your own pace, to your own depth of comfort, please settle into your own place of stillness. And if it's comfortable, allow this to be a place of quiet, a place where you can also be a beginner. Meister Eckhart said, be willing to be a beginner every single morning. Breathing in. Breathing out. And as you're settling into your own space of stillness, I invite you to settle in. Breathing to the ebb and flow of your own breath. Breathing to the ebb and flow of your own heartbeat. And as thoughts come up, as they often do, you might notice them. You might set them aside for right now. You might envision them as clouds, drifting, maybe dispersing. And return your thoughts back to your breath. Breathing in. Breathing out. And after a long day, notice how comforting, notice how restful it can be to settle into stillness. And as you're comfortable, allow your attention to follow your breath. Breathing in, pausing, breathing out, pausing, and continue on for several breath cycles at your own pace, your own rhythm. Your own beginning. Breathing in, breathing out. And as you're breathing in, you might notice a warming sensation inside yourself, a sensation that this is a very safe place to begin, a safe place to be nourished, a very comforting place to be held. Breathing in, breathing out. And allow yourself a few breath cycles to settle in around the warmth of being present. Perhaps the spaciousness, perhaps even a thrill about a new beginning. And if you can feel that energy pulsing through you, allow yourself to feel it from the root of your sacrum all the way up to the very top of your head. Breathing in and breathing out. And as you continue to feel stillness and warmth and the ebb and flow of your own energy, of your own magnetic field, begin to become aware that you're inside of your body container. You might notice what it feels like to be inside your body container. As you draw the life supporting breath into you, and then let it go. You might notice that you're connected to the floor, the earth below you, through a chair, or perhaps sitting on the ground, through your feet, or perhaps through your pelvic bowl, connected to the space outside, supporting you in your container as you breathe in and breathe out. And if while you're noticing what it's like to be inside of you, inside of your body container, notice if there's any place that you can feel your muscles holding. Your skin may be a little too tight. And with the next breath in and then out, see if you can release that tightness. Release it out into the universe. And with your next breath in, breathe out any remaining tension that you might be holding. And breathe in full relaxation. Breathe out release. Relaxation in. Release out. And now that we're all settled in nicely to our own personal space of stillness and comfort and safety, I'm going to invite in other voices. In a moment, Jenny will be joining me, and she'll be leading us into a greater awareness of our somatic being and how our body interacts with the space outside as well as inside us. And all the while, if you find yourself distracted, needing more stillness, or just because, you can take your attention back to your breath, breathing in and breathing out into a place of deep settlement. And you can keep your eyes closed, or if you'd like to flutter them open for just a moment. And Jenny, I'm going to pass the baton over to you when you're ready.
Thank you, Luann. So continuing to follow your breath, that gentle rise and fall of each inhale and exhale. Allow your awareness to shift just slightly from this vessel, the inside space that we've been traversing, to notice the outer layer. Maybe it exists right at the edge of your skin. Maybe you notice it several inches or even feet away from your physical body. And for just a few breaths, give yourself the opportunity to recognize the space that you take up, not only on your chair or your cushion, but extending out in all directions. Maybe recognizing if this space feels nice and tidy, close in towards your body, or maybe expansive, radiating out, maybe from heart center, low belly, sacrum, top of the head. Simply gaining some awareness of where you notice the boundary of your body, of yourself, of your space. Feel free to even allow some gentle movement letting the arms, the legs, the feet move in this space that you have a relationship to. Maybe letting the arms gently float up, maybe wiggling the toes or extending a leg. Maybe even noticing how your body wants to sit up a little straighter, heart open, shoulders back. Or maybe the body wants to curl in, chin towards chest, belly towards spine. Giving yourself a breath cycle or two to navigate the inner workings, the inner movement, the inner desire of the body within this space. And then slowly start to allow yourself to come back into stillness. And if it's comfortable for you, maybe placing a hand on heart center and a hand on low belly. Now allowing your awareness to come back into this physical space, back into the physical body, maybe feeling the beating of the heart or the inhale and exhale of the breath. Continue allowing your awareness to come deeper into the body, now closer towards your center, from skin, fascia, muscle, bone, letting the awareness come into your center. Maybe recognizing a change of sensation in temperature, color, texture. As your awareness moves from outside the physical body to inside the physical body, becoming aware of that central channel running from sacrum to top of the head. If this is a new or unfamiliar space, you can bring your mind's eye about 3 or 4 inches in front of your spine. Maybe picturing a conduit or a color. Maybe picturing a texture. And letting the breath move from sacrum to top of the head, coming into this midline, whether it be a structure, an energy, a sensation, letting the in-breath rise from sacrum to crown of the head, and exhale from crown of the head to sacrum. And one more gentle breath cycle here. And with that next exhale, as the breath floats from crown of the head to sacrum, maybe allow that exhale to go even slightly lower than the sacrum. Maybe noticing that place where the body meets your cushion, your chair, or the earth. And then letting the next inhale simply rise back into the body. And your next exhale coming back down into sacrum and maybe coming slightly lower. Allowing this breath cycle to help connect our physical body to the physical earth. Maybe through cushion, maybe through chair. maybe through several stories of floors below you, maybe through wood or concrete, maybe through ceramic. Continuing to allow your breath to help you find an awareness of where your body might meet the earth. Staying in touch with the midline, that central channel that runs through the body with the inhale, and continuing to allow your awareness to grow deeper into the earth with the exhale. Similar to how a dandelion grows a taproot or a carrot grows into the earth. Similar to how roots of the trees, the plants, the flowers grow down below the earth's surface into the soil, down through the crust, allowing your own relationship to this taproot to gain texture or color or sensation. Continuing to let the inhale keep you grounded into your midline and the exhale grounded into the presence of the earth. Maybe feeling not only sacrum but sits bones. Maybe feeling feet. Maybe the outside of your legs. Just simply recognizing the places where your body makes contact with the earth and where your root makes contact with below the surface of the earth. Maybe 2 inches, 6 inches, maybe even allowing your root to go multiple feet down, providing for you a grounded and stable connection, knowing that the body may bend, wave, lean in the winds of our life, in what the days may throw us. But we can remain grounded, centered, rooted. Continuing to allow the inhale to come into the midline of the body. And the exhale, grounding through our sits bones and our sacrum. Recognizing the strength that we can carry forward when we move from this rooted and grounded place. Recognizing the weight that we can drop off of our shoulders down into the rooted, centered taproot. Less we have to carry when we keep our feet on the ground. And beginning to feel some of the lightness in the body on the inhale. And that rooted, grounded center on the exhale. Gently allowing the hands to come back into the lap. allowing the breath to rise up on that inhale, coming through belly, heart center, top of the head. Exhale, top of the head, heart center, belly, sacrum. Letting each inhale become a little lighter, continuing to rise up back into our physical being, through the midline, filling our belly, our heart center, filling our hands and our feet, bringing that grounded energy from Mother Earth, Mama Aki, up into our being, into our fingers and into our toes, into our eyes, our ears, our mouth, our nose. And taking one more long, deep inhale here. And gently letting the exhale settle the body, drop the shoulders, soft in the belly. And I will welcome another voice to come into our awareness. Cliff will be joining us.
Thank you, Jenny. So I invite you to stay with the feelings in the body, in the bodily self that were generated by that practice. And at the same time, make any adjustments that you need to make to your sitting, or maybe you switch to standing or lying. Stillness may stay if you want, if it's appropriate. If some movement is being called for, make some adjustment. Sometimes it's the compassionate thing to do in practice. And the practice I'll be exploring with you tonight, in fact, is about compassion. It's the metta practice from the Buddhist tradition, but also used in many secular applications and mindfulness in society. Metta in the Pali language, the original language of the Buddha, is often translated as loving kindness. And, it's about feelings of kindness or goodwill towards oneself first, the practice, directing toward oneself, and then toward others, other people, other beings. And metta as a word is close in its origin in Pali to the word for friend, mitta. So it's addressing how can we cultivate these tendencies of the heart-mind toward friendliness, a friendly awareness of all beings. So today we'll continue with this theme of addressing attention, awareness, and kindness into the body, and then add on an expanding of that into the world. The intention is to incline our heart, our body-mind, toward caring and compassion in a way that may change our relationship with ourselves and the world. We'll be doing a radiating practice that we imagine sending friendliness and goodwill out into the world. And of course, even as I speak now, other thoughts, sensations, feelings may arise, then the focus of the practice. And also I invite you to treat those with compassion and friendliness, and just notice when your mind has drifted onto other things, words and images have arisen, sensations have arisen, and just releasing them, letting them go, quieting them in a way without judgment, with great ease. So I invite you to turn inward again and find somewhere in your torso that feels comfortable, somewhere in this inner space that we've been exploring. It may, in fact, be on that midline that feels comfortable. Very often it is the heart space that we attend to in this practice, but maybe there's somewhere else that feels more appropriate for you right now. And I invite you to direct and imagine the movement of the breath there, as if there could be a softening and expanding in this internal space somewhere. Some softening and expanding in this space in the core of your body that feels right for you. And you might even bring a hand or both hands, one on top of the other, to some place on the surface of your torso that corresponds with that internal space. And use your hands to direct feelings of care, inviting these sensations of softening and relaxing into that space, directing kindness toward this place. And then slowly and with time, inviting a sense of ease and well-being to expand into the whole torso. And, knowing that you don't need to bring your attention anywhere that it doesn't want to go. Maybe there's some places that are not so comfortable, and it would be great to bring some comfort and ease into those places. And maybe there's some places you might just let the intention flow around. Don't make anything happen in your imagination, just allowing, inviting and allowing ease and well-being, softening and expanding, compassion and care. And you might imagine that expanding into the shoulders, the upper chest, the lower ribs, sensing the movement of attention, the movement of ease, the movement of the breath forward and sideways and backward in the upper part of your torso. Maybe it's a sense of warming or a sense of cooling. Maybe you imagine a color suffusing through the body. Whatever you imagine that could help you spread a sense of well-being. And then the abdomen in the front, the sides, the back of the abdomen, the low back. Inviting in feelings of compassion and care for this part of the body, inviting a sense of expansion and ease and softening. Comfort and care, and sensing again all around the front, the sides, the back, and down into the pelvis. However you imagine, whatever's comfortable for you. Breathing or imagining breathing into all these spaces to spread the sense of well-being through the body. And beginning to extend those intentions for ease and wellness, those feelings of comfort down each leg and both legs, the thighs all around, the knees, the lower legs, flowing down. Imagine a flowing of well-being and ease through the legs, the lower legs, into the feet and the toes. This gentle expansion of well-being into the legs and feet. And now inviting these feelings of flow down each arm, both arms, from the shoulders, the upper arms, the elbows, forearms, the hands and the wrists, however you imagine it. Softening and easing, like a flow of breath or water at a comfortable temperature. And then into your head, the neck and throat, your jaw and face, the ears and the back and the top of the head, inviting ease and well-being through the whole body, expanding. And our bodies truly are miraculous, and at the same time, they don't need to be miraculous to send them this care, this well-being. It's your body, your bodily experience right now. And then there are some who hold the idea of the earth itself being alive, like a body. Even on a metaphorical level, we could think that we could connect to the world as a body. We talk about a body of people working together, connected, cooperating like a physical body. So I invite you now to gather these feelings of expanding well-being and care, and find a way, if it's possible, to extend them beyond your body, sending waves of well-being and friendliness into the world. However you imagine it, you might imagine waves of light or warmth or intention or consciousness or spirit, or just these bodily felt feelings of well-being that you've gathered and developed, inviting to expand at a speed in a way that works for you. However you might conceive this sense of sending feelings of kindness out. And consider radiating these feelings of compassion and care out into the world, perhaps to particular people in need of care, other communities and other groups of people and beings in places on the earth, and to ones that have a place in your heart, to ones who need particular care today. Inviting the feelings of kindness and the intentions of well-being to expand into the body of the world, and encountering as you want the bodies of those you care about and enveloping them in care, hugging them with care. And imagining those bodies of people, those groups and communities in need of care today, enveloping them in this outflow of compassion and goodwill, wishing for them ease, well-being, health, safety, just as you wish for yourself. Enveloping them in your intention for their well-being. Filling the spaces that we share, neighborhoods, towns, cities, and beyond with concern. To whatever extent possible, however you imagine it, and other beings in nature and the natural world itself. Expanding your body of concern and care. Inclining your own heart and body and mind toward kindness, wishing ease, safety, well-being, happiness, expanding into the spaces of the body, of the world. And gently now leaving this practice, knowing that the feelings of well-being that you've generated can nourish the body, mind, and sustain, can nourish how you are in the world. And I invite you to slowly come back to being aware of your body sitting here, awareness of the contact of your body with the seat, with the floor, the sense of sitting in this room right now, the physical room that you're in, and also this virtual room that we're sharing. And I invite you to come back to this circle, and maybe click on the arrows as you're ready, as you orient to the screen, and look at the faces of the people here with us. This is our circle right now. If you care to, maybe switching your camera on, it's completely up to you. I see your names, I see your faces, I see your photos. And now if you would turn off the recording, that was our practice here together tonight.
Thank you, Cliff. Thank you for that beautiful and poignant connection to the outer world, just like the ripples in that beautiful image. And as my fingers have been itching for this light for a while now, I invite you all to reflect on what we have done together, each of us glowing in our own containers, but together creating something quite special and magical. All beginning with a flicker, all beginning with a first step, all beginning with that first moment of stillness, inhaling in just like a flame, bringing in the fuel of oxygen to warm us, to settle us, to glow out. And then as Jenny showed us how to connect down to our roots, how to be supported in our stillness, how to be supported as we tend and grow our fire within. And then as Cliff helped us to kindle that for a greater good, to bring loving kindness and peace and well-being to ourselves. And then connecting like this beautiful collection of firelights until we can encircle our whole community with warmth and well-being. And we did all that together. So in closing, I'd invite you all to again take one more generous breath in. And if you want to close your eyes and go inside for these next few breath cycles, and notice what it feels like to be inside of you now, having taken a beginning, having extended it to community, having generated it out to the planet. And together we're breathing in And we're breathing out. And in a moment, I'm going to invite you to open your eyes and to separate from this community for right now, so you can have a restorative evening, a warm meal, a good night's sleep. And I invite you to bring along with you the glow, the safety, the warmth, the comfort, the capacity for stillness, the capacity for expansion that we've experienced together here tonight. All the while breathing in and breathing out. And before you open your eyes, I'd like to invite you to imagine yourself opening your eyes and ever so gently separating, just for tonight, from this community. And when you're ready, open your eyes, stretch out. Namaste. Thank you for being here tonight.